going to take a look at another type of situation that can be represented as a linear equation. So let's just read this problem real quick. Paul is 3 times Jerry's age. Tim is 5 years older than Jerry, and Lance is 3 years younger than Paul. Their combined age is 178. Find each of their ages. So this is a problem where information about one person is dependent on information about another person. So the easiest way to deal with this is to list all the people out. So we have Paul, we have Jerry, we have Tim, and we have Lance. All right, so this is part of defining the variables that we're going to use in this equation because we will have some, and we want to make sure that they're very clear to anyone reading our work. Okay, so I'm going to start just writing down in words what each of these represent, and that's going to help us decide who we're going to define as kind of our starting value. So Paul is 3 times Jerry. So under Paul, I'm just going to write 3 times Jerry, just as a shorthand so that I can pull this information out of the problem and into a more manageable piece here. So it says Tim is 5 years older than Jerry. So under Tim, 5 older than Jerry. All right, and Lance is 3 years younger than Paul. So 3 years younger than Paul. Okay, and you'll notice we have one person that doesn't have anything written underneath them. That's because this is our starting value, right? The person that we are going to define as just being X, and we're going to base everything around that person. So Jerry is X. If Paul is 3 times Jerry's age, then Paul would be 3 times X, whatever Jerry's age happens to be. And then we want to do the other one. So Tim is 5 years older than Jerry. So we would take Jerry's age and add 5 years to it. Now, Lance is a little bit different because Lance is dependent on Paul. So Lance is 3 years younger than Paul. So we want to take whatever Paul is and subtract or take away 3 years from that. So now we have all 4 of our people defined in terms of an expression with X. So it says their combined age is 178. That means we're going to be using addition. So we're going to add them all together. So Paul's age, 3X, plus Jerry's age, X, plus Tim's age, X plus 5, plus Lance's age, X minus 3. And that should equal 178. So we want to solve this. So we're going to start by combining like terms. So we would have 8x plus 2 equals 178, and then solving as per usual. So subtracting 2 from both sides, 8x equals 176. Divide both sides by 8. We find that x equals 22. But that's only part of the puzzle, right? Because we really need to find everybody's age, and x only describes Jerry. So if we look here, x equals 22. All right, well, if x is 22, then Paul has to be 3 times 22, or 66 years old. Okay, which means Tim has to be 22 plus 5, or 27 years old, and Lance has to be 3 times 22 minus 3, or 63 years old. So I'm going to just put a nice unit next to all of these so we know what we're talking about, and we're good to go.